Old habits must really die hard with this lunar eclipse in Virgo we have on March 14th. Because we are dealing with this Pisces Virgo axis, we really, as a collective, have to work on our perfectionist tendencies to go by the book, to have things in a certain order, and really learning how to move with the authentic flow of our life, and most importantly, our true heart's desire. Greetings, alchemists. Welcome back to my channel, Hidden Alchemy by Sade. I am Sade. So great to have you here, whether you are new or if you are returning. It is always a pleasure to be here on my channel discussing all things, whether astrology, spirituality, yoga, anything that is healing for mind, body, and spirit. And most importantly, how we can take this energy we are dealing with and turn it into our personal power. So, for today's episode, we are diving into the lunar eclipse that we have in Virgo. And this is the first eclipse of the year. And we have two eclipses happening in March. So, depending on when you are listening to this video, hopefully you're listening to it at the early stages of March, so you can really take some time this March to slow things down. If you have not listened to my March astrology, go ahead, because on top of us having two eclipses, we also have two retrogrades, Venus and Mercury, the signs that deal with relationships. So let's go ahead and dive into the lunar eclipse that we have happening in Virgo. And first of all, if it is your first time really knowing what an eclipse is basically when the sun and the moon are conjunct the north or the south node. So in this case, we have a lunar eclipse because a lunar eclipse is really a full moon when we have the sun and the moon in two opposing signs. But because the sun and the moon conjunct the collective north and south node, it is considered a lunar eclipse, which I know a lot of astrologers like to say it is a full moon on steroids, but it really actually is a course correction and cord cutting to get you on your path. Whenever we're dealing with eclipse energy, it's the difference between a full moon, new moon, and a lunar and solar eclipse is the changes that happen are always out of our control. But especially when there's an eclipse, it's changes that we might not have saw coming, but they're changes that are needed in order for us to course correct. And they're not as, I don't want to use the term fun, because I think that change is what it is. And I think that change depends on your perspective. But a lot of times with eclipse energy, because it's things that we really need to be doing and we need to change and we need to let go of, especially if it's a lunar eclipse, it's a full moon. So it's something that has to come to an end, right? A lot of times this change, because the eclipse energy is so potent and powerful, it is uncomfortable. That's the word I want to use. It's uncomfortable. But when you can anticipate that an eclipse is taking shape, no, you can't control what that change is going to be, but yes, you can prepare by understanding the nuances of the signs. So let's go ahead and break down what Pisces and Virgo is. So Pisces is a water mutable sign ruled by Jupiter originally and currently Neptune. Whenever we're dealing with Piscean energy, we're dealing with the unseen world. We're dealing with the spirit realm, spirituality, the subconscious mind, the intuitive body, the healing body, the auric body, the places of ourself that we're really only able to tap into through things like astrology, tarot, meditation, yoga, anything that helps us to connect to the divine and a higher level of consciousness. That, yes, it can be done in the physical realm, but it is really tapped into in the spiritual realm. And whenever you're working with Piscean energy, dreams are usually very activated. It's water. So also artistic ways of expressing oneself. And most importantly, any act of service that is here to help heal a person or heal the collective. Now, moving towards Virgo, Virgo is the opposing sign of Pisces. And just because two signs are opposite doesn't mean that they are completely different. No, they want the same thing. They just go about it in different ways. Virgo is earth. It's mutable, and it is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the planet of intellect, knowledge, things that you are able to factually understand and see in the physical realm. So, where Pisces deals with our intuition, things that we can feel, Virgo deals with our strong gift of discernment, what we can see, what we can pick apart, and what we can really put together to create the big picture. Pisces is the big picture, Virgo is the details of that big picture. Now, the difference between Pisces and Virgo is Pisces likes to focus on the ideal, the end goal, the vision, the dream, the belief. And Virgo wants to focus on the day to day rituals and routines that you need to do in order to get to the bigger picture. How these two signs work together is when we have balance between understanding the higher vision and understanding that there is only but so much that you can do in the physical realm before you have to let it go and let a higher level of connection, a higher consciousness, a higher being take care of that for you. Whenever you're dealing with Pisces and Virgo, you are also dealing with service. You're dealing with the healing and the helping of the underprivileged and the under I don't I was going to say the term underdeserving, but the underprivileged, or the people that we forget about, the people that we don't really focus our care or our attention on. They're kind of just the underdogs, but they also need healing and love, the people who are sick. And lastly, Pisces and Virgo rule mental health. Virgo rules your gut. So whenever we're dealing with Virgo energy or the sixth house, you're really dealing with your health, your health, your health, your health. And I am a Virgo stellium, Virgo sun, Virgo Mercury, Virgo Jupiter. I understand this Virgo energy so much. Whenever you're dealing with Virgo, you are dealing with your health and your diet and the discipline that you need to have in order to have a healthy diet so that the organs in your body are functioning well. Virgo cares about things that function seamlessly, and that's why it rules the gut. Now, Pisces rules your mental health, your subconscious mind, right? Your dream state. And a lot of times, if you are a person who is suffering from poor sleep, that affects your physical day to day, it affects your physical body. So, when we're working with the Pisces and Virgo dynamic, the two have to work together. The health needs to be in order, right? Because it also assists us with being able to tap into our spiritual realm, to have easeful sleep, to have dreams, and to be at ease. If you've ever been a person that has been sick, you know that when you're sick, you're not at peace. It's harder to be at ease when your body is not functioning the way that it needs to, right? So that you can seamlessly kind of just move through life. So Virgo and Pisces coming together in this lunar eclipse is really going to signify for the collective, because we are all feeling this energy. Wherever you have Virgo in your chart, there is a way of being, right? In your daily tasks, your daily routines, your mundane rituals. Virgo is very ritualistic. It's doing things consistently to get the bigger picture. But there's something that you have been doing that this eclipse is saying, we can cut this out now. We can let this go. We don't need to move like this anymore, because this is actually hindering us. And the reason why I say hindering is because the South Node is in Virgo, and the South Node is where we are giving ourselves kind of a purge through moving towards the North Node so we can have more balance in both dichotomies. It's not that you don't need Virgo energy. No, you do need Virgo energy, but there is a way you have been moving in this Virgo area of your chart that is actually not going to help you bring better understanding of the Pisces area of your chart. So we got to cut some things. We got to tweak some things, which is very Virgo. Virgo likes to cut away and get rid of things that do not help us run seamlessly. Now, what I personally feel from this eclipse energy, especially because it's activated during Pisces season, is there is a deep need for healing, for ease, for rest, for things that bring us pleasure and joy, but may not necessarily be pertaining to work. Virgo is about our work life. Pisces is about our spiritual life, and we need each other in order to move through life and be in our purpose. So, because this is a lunar eclipse, there's definitely going to be a deeper need of connecting to what is really What new seeds are you really trying to plant for this year that can bring you Piscean things, that can bring you collective community, that can bring you collective healing, that can bring you more fun, more more artistic expression, and most importantly, in true Pisces fashion, more rest and more dreaming. If Virgo is about the 10-year goal, the 10-year vision board, Pisces is about your dream board. And in order for us to tap into our dreams, we got to let go of this need to control the outcome of things. And in Virgo fashion, needing to always know what the next step is before we step. And that is the difference between Virgo and Pisces, right? Pisces is the intuition. Sometimes you don't know until the moment of, or until you go to sleep and you have that dream and you wake up and you're like, now I know what to do. Whereas Virgo wants to focus solely on the facts. So I would definitely say for this lunar eclipse, and this is something that I have been practicing for quite some time since the South Node has hit Virgo and has aspected my sun, is take more time to dream. And notice when you are feeling anxious about something, because that is Virgo. Virgo rules the gut. Most of our nerves are in our gut. Notice where you're having nervous energy. Notice where you're having anxious energy. Notice where something feels off. And even if it's a routine that you once used to enjoy or you used to do quite often, that is your body's way of letting you know there is a routine that is no longer needed and we need to fix it. Not because we want to harm or we want to make ourselves uncomfortable, but we want to bring better balance. And that's why the theme of this eclipse is old habits die hard. It has to be let go of. And because it's an eclipse, it's going to be clipped out one way or another. And usually when we go through eclipses, we're given a major event, a major situation that forces us to have to really look at the problem for what it is so that we can course correct, whether we like it or not. So that is my spiel of what I have for this lunar eclipse in Virgo. If you are a person who has your sun in Pisces or your sun in Virgo, and you would like to know just how you can make the most out of these next 18 months of this North Node, South Node cycle, feel free to send me a message and we can do a full chart reading and I can definitely guide you on how you can work with this energy and use it to your advantage, because astrology is not something that we need to fear. It is a tool that really helps us to get to know ourselves better and, most importantly, feel in control of ourselves, because we cannot control our life necessarily. We can't control the outcomes, but we can control ourselves and we can dive into our strengths and even our weaknesses to continue guiding us on our journey. So that is all I have for the lunar eclipse happening in the sign of Virgo on March 14th. Of course, this energy can be felt throughout the month, not just on the 14th. So definitely take it easy, take your time, and I will see you for our next video.